I think we really need to do a lot of civic education, and we invite everybody in this space to thank you, Afro, for making me a co-host. We invite everybody to bring up ideas which we think can, because we need to focus on what do we do next. We have unfinished business. What do we do next? We've lamented enough. We have got lots of problems. So how do we solve them going forward? Because by now, from June 22nd onwards, what we have done, everybody knows the problems we have, the systems crumbling down, which is a major challenge. So runaway corruption, there are lots of issues. So we need to focus on what do we do going forward. And that, I think in that way, we will be able to get solutions for our country, for now and for the future generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Tribeless. I'll give the microphone to Paulo. Paulo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you, Afro?
Doing good. Like your profile picture, equilibrium. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I want to thank you all for keeping pushing forward, despite all the force that the government has shown towards us. Ni kama sahi Ruto anataka kuban protests, hataki watu wafanye assemblies. Because as someone who was on the protest on Thursday, the kind of the kind of force we saw from the police, manze ilikuwa kitu sijaiona. Yani mimi nilitoka Mombasa, nikatoka Weno Mombasa nikafika Thursday Nairobi. And by hiyo masaa nilikuwa nafika around 6, makarao walikuwa wamejaa every corner, like kila mahali ukienda tu hivi lori gari ya makarao. So I like that kila msee sahi anataka tufanye civic education. Actually sahi kitu nimerealize ni unatembea mahali ukiuliza msee venye kunaendelea na kuambia mbona watu wanaenda maandamano, si Ruto aliangusha finance bill, why you guys still protesting, mbona mnaharibu biashara, you know? So and then when you tell them, do you know that Ruto wants to take your land, they are like, what? Kuna kitu kama hiyo? One thing I want you to know, guys, is that most of the people wenye wako huko mashinani, they rely on our mainstream media for information. Wao wanashinda tu kwa TV, huko ndo wanatoa information yao. Na ujue Citizen, hizo TV zote actually hakuna kitu zinaonyesha wasee ati hold the country ati inaendelea, yani ama vitu zinaendelea. So they don't really know about these bills that the parliament is passing that are meant to oppress the people. So sahi manze tukafanya civic education fiti, and especially juu huku Twitter manze, all of us are informed, we know what is happening. So nimerealize tunaingia Twitter tunasema yo tutokee, tunakasirika and everything, but we need all the numbers we can get. Na hizi numbers tunaweza zitoa tu if serikali, if awasewa boda mama mboga au wasewa home wenye maybe wao wasewa ocha wenye hawako more informed, to try manze kuwaelimisha, tuwashow what the government is doing, tuwashow gava inataka kuchukua mashamba zetu, tuwashow gava inataka kurestrict agriculture, hutakuwa hata unapanda sukuma kwako, tuwashow gava inataka kuteka our seeds, hawataki tutumie mbegu zetu zenye tumezoea, the traditional ones, tuwashow gava inataka kuteka our healthcare, tuwashow gava inataka kumaliza education, like hataki tuelimike, ndo waendelee kutufinya manze tusijue what is happening. Alafu hizi videos, there is someone, I think that was Tracy, I mentioned we focus on giving civic education in our vernacular languages. That is a very important point. Most of these people hawaelewi hizi, kuna watu hata hawajasoma wengi wako huko home, mashosho zetu, our mothers and fathers wengine hawakusoma fiti. So hizi vitu zinawapita tu. So if we can do in a lot of civic education in vernacular, I believe hizi message zitafikia kila msee. Huo msee wa mjengo wako huko ndani mwenye hata hana simu, msee mwenye hata hawatch news, mtu hata hajui X ni nini. Au ndo watu tunahitaji saa hii. Because vile nimerealize ni most of us wenye tuko very angry with this government, sisi ndo tuko informed. So unapata kama tao jana bazi, hiyo Thursday kulikuwa kumejaa, tulikuwa wengi sana by the way. Ukitembea tu hivi ungejua huyu msee amekuja protest. Lakini hamunge assemble, like hata mngepatikana mko watu kama 4 hivi, mmegoteana mnaongea kiasi, tear gas. So saa hii tunahitaji numbers from the people that unjue strongholds wa Ruto ni kina bodaboda na mama mboga. We need to convince them how this government is not for them. We need them to understand this, that the bills that are being passed in parliament ni za kuwaumiza na kuwamaliza. We need them on our side. Though every time tukitokea waache kuona ni kama tumeenda kuwaharibia bills. Waelewe bona tunatokea. We need them on our side yani. Haya, watu wengine ni huku kwa machama, kwa maklabu, in churches, everywhere you go just talk about it manze. As in don't shut up. Talk about what is happening, talk to your family members au watu wako home. Hata kama have tu a family call, mmeongea hapo katikati, ingiza by the way, unajua Ruto anataka kudu hivi, by the way, unajua hii government manze inadai kufanya hivi na hivi, unajua watoto wetu hawatasoma, unajua hatuna future tukiendelea hivi. Because guys, sahi manze tukiachilia hii kitu man, Jum Seville ametufinya sahi. What is his next goal right now? Ni aende waongeze more bills za kuendelea kutuoppress, watufinye zaidi. Sasa kama hizo assemblies, public assemblies sahi wataenda kuzifinya. Do every time mumegather mahali kuongea about the government, mnafinywa, mnaambiwa no, you should not do this. This is illegal, this is against the law. You know, this is the same thing that Moi did. After people tried the coup in 82, aliban public assemblies. Alisema hakuna watu wanafaa kukutana kuongelea the government. Nobody used to talk about the government. That's why even right now our parents wanashangaa, you guys kwani mko na gut gani? How can you go and challenge a sitting government? Yani, like, muna challenge gava yenye sahi ndo iko in power yani, because that's unheard of, was unheard of back then. But these guys now need to be educated. Juu sahi manzi hawajui. And huyo mtu bado ametaja about the constitution. If we can translate this constitution, to translate into all our languages, alafu hii civic education tuwaonyesha hadi kuhusu constitution, vile constitution inawa protect, vile wafai kuogopa government, because we are not in a monarchy here. We have a constitution, and this constitution should be the one that is leading this country. I think those are my points. Sina mambo mingi nataka kuongelea, but you guys keep pushing mazee. Sahi tusitegemea ati big week fulani atakuja ati the things for us mazee. Nimerealize sisi kwa sisi tu ndo tunaweza ongea kando yetu to form what we need to do to form strategies zenye tunahitaji ku move forward, because if we depend on other people to come out and inject for us and do all these things, then hao watu hawako mazee. Sisi ndo big wig sahi. Hakuna mambo na big wig, small wig. It's our voices, and every voice counts. Hata voice ya huyo soja ako hapo chini ina count. Tuongee na wao, ni Wakenya wenzetu, tuwaeleze nini kinaendelea, ndo kila mtu akuwe informed. Ndo ile time maandamano itapangwa, like tusame kesho we are hitting the streets, everyone will be angry enough, everyone will be ready. Hakutakuwa na story nini kunaendelea, bona watu, because I'm very sure the government will fuck up. Kutafanyika more scandals, more things are going to come. So tusinyamaze, tuendelee, and we are gonna win. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Thank you, Afro.
Thank you, Paulo. Powerful submission. Right now, it's not about big accounts, small accounts, big wig, small wig. Even the reason you went to the street, I hope you didn't go to the street because an influencer told you to go to the street. Oh, so manze niliinsaitiwa na Tribeless, Afro aliniinsight ama Paulo aliniinsight kwenda kwa streets. Oh, Josephine aliongea vizuri sana. Nikamwa no, that's not. Then you are on the streets for the wrong reason. You need to articulate. One of the videos that emerged in these protests is when a young Gen Z was arrested and he talked his way out of freedom. Like alirushwa kwa hiyo Mariam na makarao, akaambia mbona mnanishika, mbona mnanifunga, na ninawatetea. Mnajua mkienda sasa hospitali bei ya madawa imeenda juu, sasa hata kuweka mtoto wako kwa shule sasa university utalipa bei ya juu. Yani he talked sense into them mpaka wakamwachilia. And that is the difference between the demonstrator now on the street. Huwezi shikwa na karau useme hey, Afro amenituma nikuje street. Like, what are you even doing? Don't go. That's what I've said. Don't go. Kama uko hapa because you're here because unafuata tribeless manze, you don't understand what the issues affecting Kenya, and you don't even have to be on the streets. Because right now where Kenya is, kila mtu sahi anajituma. Mi nikifungua space najituma. Mtu akienda kuprint t-shirt na kuprint maposta anajituma. Mtu akituma pesa za bus fare anajituma. Mtu akienda kwa street like everyone is doing their part to save Kenya, and a lot of infighting ina divide and conquer. Ukianza kusema huyu Mbona sijaona Tribeless akitoa pesa? Mbona sijaona sijaona Josephine akiongea kwenye spaces? Mbona sijaona Kingsley akiandamana? Mbona sioni Paulo? Like everyone has a point to play. Everyone has a place to play. And we have to all, tukisema tuende kwa streets, kila mtu atoke kwa streets. Tukisema tuna congregate, tunapanga hivi, everyone has to follow through. Unity to move kama kitu kimoja. That is when we are unstoppable. Otherwise, kila mtu aende arudi kwa biashara zake, kila mtu aende afanye kitu zake. Paka hii kwanza, I think either we don't understand what's happening in Kenya, otherwise we are not feeling the pinch enough, hatujakasirika. Maybe we give Ruto and Raila another 4-5 months, tusikie uchungu, ndo watu waishiwe na pesa, bei ya shukari ende juu, bei ya mafuta ende juu, ndo kila mtu akuje, because it was organic in the first place. Mi sijalipwa, sijui kaa Tribeless amelipwa, sijui kaa Kingsley amelipwa, sijui kaa Josephine amelipwa, but we are all here because we love our country. We are patriots. We hold the flag and we cannot see our country go to waste. Be just a few leaders ndo are profiting and stealing for their families. Haiwezekani. So we reject bad governance. Please retweet the space. Let's get more comrades in here. I know many people have given up. Many people want to wait until 27. 27 for what? Unataka kusurvive until 2027? How? Hiyo ni mbali sana. Kingsley, Mike ni yako, karibu kwenye space.
Okay, thank you Afro. At first, yesterday demonstration was successful. Jana watu walitokea, but the police used strategy ingine ngumu sana. They blocked the way kuingia town, so watu kukutana watu kuassemble ilikuwa ngumu jana town. Juu ukivuka huku unavurugwa, unafukuzwa na fimbo, so it was so hard. But yesterday deal na iliingiana because some businesses were closed. Government pia ilikuwa afraid, police walimwaga, inamaanisha police from different parts of the county waliweza kutravel kwenda Nairobi just to safeguard the businesses. So tunaona hiyo, but guys, we need strategies. Hii kitu inataka strategies. Naona hii kitu inataka strategies ile normal. Juu sasa polisi ni kama wameshika ways za kuzuia ile demonstration. Mbona vile wakitumia njia walitumia jana, it will be so difficult for us to assemble. Alafu guys, yesterday I had an issue. One of my friend arrested, alishikwa. But I'm a big man bana. When unajua nyinyi mnaweza sukuma hashtag free somebody. Jana nilijaribu kuinbox some big wins, but they are not responding on inboxes. Unajua nyinyi ndio mnaweza push hii agenda. Mtu akishikwa ni kutumia inbox, nisema wameshika mse fulani hivi na hivi ndio. Kwa hiyo ukianza kupush hiyo hashtag ya free somebody ina trend sana than mimi ni small win. But sasa ama big win ukiwa inbox wa respond, mtu ako space but they are not responding. Guys, let us be each brother keeper. Mimi nilikuwa na mse fulani alishikwa na inbox haka kina Merix, na inbox nani kakina Juda nani na kakina Psycho, but muangalie inbox. I don't know what's the problem, but tunajua nyinyi mnaweza push hii hashtag, but unfortunately mimi jamaa ameachiliwa leo morning, ako safe. Ameachiliwa, sijui naambiwa amehongana huko, but ameachiliwa. Wazazi wake wameenda wakamwachilia. Was one of my friend, tulikuwa town but alishikwa. Sasa nashangaa msee anashikwa, msee uko na bendera na maji ya chupa. Polisi anakuja ati you are attracting watu wakuje kudemonstrate. What's that? Alafu guys, msione huyu msee, huyu Zakayo unamwona akienda rally sana, watu wanajaa hapo wengi, wanampigia makofi. Guys, hii ni mchezo wa town tunajua. Huyu Ruto anabai. Those people are hired na magari maroli wanamwaga hapo. Every rally nye Ruto anaenda, they hired watu waende kushangilia tu kupiga makofi. But when you see many faces huku nyuma, they are not aware. When you are aware, they are ones that are clapping for him. Guys, let us continue pushing the hashtag Ruto must go. Hakuna kupumzika. The moment tutapumzika, the Ruto will start tena kuanza hii mambo yake. Let us continue pushing the hashtag. Uwe small win, uwe big win. Ruto must go. Hiyo kitu itrend hivyo na iende. Nje ijue, international zote zijue how Ruto is, how this Kenya is, hivyo tu. So that hata kama ataweza kufaulu kufika 2027, ataweza kuvaya for the presidency, ataweza kukalia hiyo kiti tena. Na by chance huyu mjamaa by chance 2027 aingie huko tena. Guys, don't allow, we Kenyans we forget haraka sana, youth na hata nani hawa watu tunasahau sana. Kufikia 2027 utapata so many people wamesahau what happened 2024. 2027 most people watakuwa wamesahau totally. Utapata watu tena wanaenda wana vote, they will just vote. And currently we are fixing this nation, but kufikia 2027 utapata so many people wamesahau everything. Wanasema let us give him another chance. 2030 something huko tena another chance. Which chance tushampea, amefail. Let us all continue pushing the hashtag Ruto must go. Msirelax. Ma big win mpush, small win mpush, but ma big win mwanzo mmepush ina trend sana hadi nje. So ni nyinyi tu tunategemea. Let us reject this government. Let us reject this Ruto's regime. How can an ID applying a new ID be paid? Sure. Hiyo ni nini sasa? Hiyo ni scam. This one is a scam. How can ID be expired? Mimi ID yangu ni hiyo tu. Hiyo nilishika, watakuja wanitoe kwa nyumba, waende wanifanyie replacement. I will not move myself to Huduma to replace my ID. Nitakaa na ID yangu ya mzee, ile ya kitambo till my life. Sitaweza kubadilisha ID, atunalipa thao ama sijui 1,500 atunaenda nibadilishiwe ID. What nonsense that one is nonsense, totally nonsense. I cannot pay for ID. Sure. What's that? I cannot pay for ID. I will stay with my ID. Siendi ku replace hata kama nitanyuma government services. Well and good, because I'm not employed by government. I'm just hustling myself, najilisha hivyo tu. Hata vile they don't know. So guys, let us be firm, let us be strong, let us continue pushing the hashtag Ruto must go. Mjamaa kila mahali hao tu anakutana hizo hashtag zake, Ruto must go. Hadi watu waanze kujiuliza why Kenyans are saying Ruto must go. Let us continue. We are saying Ruto must go because of this, what is happening. State capture, vitu kama hizo state capture. How can ID be paid upon applying? How can sijui NHIF nini vitu vingine hapa, hustler fund unalipia vitu haujui, you don't know any information about hustler fund. Some people I'm get bored man. My mom anakata salary every month, hustler fund sijui a certain amount 500 inaenda kwa hustler fund. I don't know. Sisi tuko na boma, tunaishi, we don't need this house. Jamaa na post kukata kwa payslip. My mom keeps on saying, hey vijana, endeleeni tu, mimi nawaunga mkono, but be safe. My mom keeps always saying, endelea, keep it up, because tunaumia. Sisi tunaumia, sisi tulishindwa, nyinyi keep fighting. So guys, ukiona watu wako kwa barabara, msidhani that they are idle. They are some hata wako na uwezo wanakuishi nini, but they are fighting for their rights. We know what we are fighting for. We are fighting for good Kenya. We are fighting for good governance. Si ati nini tu. We are picketing because of this regime. Tumefinywa sana. Enough is enough. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your submission, Kingsley. I'll give the microphone to I See No Evil. I See No Evil, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Mimi niko majuu. You guys are doing a wonderful job. I don't know what to say. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just fuck. Fuck this system. You guys don't know why we are Maju. And we are like, Bona, we are suffering like you. Msifikiri ati we are any better. Things are sick for us. My friend, we want to come back to Kenya. That is Kenya. Lakini saa zingine unaangalia you are like, fuck you. What is going on in Kenya? We need to get rid of this guy. But tumeumia. Some of us have been here for almost 10, 15 years. Guys, you guys don't know what we go through. Yani ni maumivu. Yani it is so bitter. You have invested in Kenya, lakini unaangalia. Last week, my wife called me and he told me 16, 16 clients cannot pay their rent. And you are like, unatakaje? And I'm like, you know what? Wachana now. Just leave them. Sasa, I am going to take the loss. Kwa sababu wamekuambia sina kakitu. Seriously, you are like, you are taking your losses. We are losing. Tuko majuu. We have tried to invest. We have jama, hata sijui nitakwambiaje.
Thank you,
Yani
thank you,
unamwambia
thank you.
wachana nao. I don't want, you know,
Mm-hmm.
wacha waendelee.
Asante sana. I see no evil. Thank you for your submission.
You
By
know
the way,
how, do you know how painful that is?
it is painful, but we thank landlords like you. But the landlords who are waiving rent for Kenyans, understanding the severe economic conditions and the month of maandamano, which has affected businesses, we appreciation. So thank you. I see no evil. Kuna maneno ya mwisho kusema
Let me tell
kumalizia?
you, wacha nimalizie. It has been so painful for us. Hata tukiwa majuu tunasema Ruto must go. Yani let me tell you, huyu jamaa akiendelea, we are done. Hata sijui pale, hata sijui pale. You know, we don't see any hope. Yani we have invested in Kenya right now.
Thank you.
I'm telling you,
I
the
see no evil.
diaspora is thinking, how can we just sabotage?
Thank you. I see no evil. Asante sana kwa maoni yako. Appreciate your take right there. The landlords are feeling pain. If anyone was in the diaspora who was invested in Kenya, of course, he's feeling the pinch for the investment. But now I think it's a time of sacrifice because right now, currently, the government's policies and in the long run, literally, Kenya is being robbed as we have been seeing of our taxes, and the status quo cannot be sustained. So we have to brace for a short period of birth pains before we midwife a new Kenya. That's my thoughts. But anyway, I give the mic to Dr. Kasim. Dr. Kasim, are you there? Mic is yours. Can you hear us? Dr. Kasimu? Not there. Josephine, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Welcome to this stage.
Thank you, Afro Cedric, for taking this opportunity to host us. And I want to say that I hope all fellow Kenyans are well wherever you are, both in the country and outside the country. Yes, I really feel disturbed. If we have to win all this war together, we don't need to be separated and divided and say don't want this class of people in this area and the other. Because I've just been listening in several worlds, and the way people here are fighting Kibe, the way the Kibe on the other side is also fighting others, and Kemuto Ama Kemuso is also fighting. And I'm asking myself, not only that, even we, the people who are using the spaces, are also fighting people who have noble causes that would give us an idea on how we can move together. And we keep on fighting each other. And even sometimes somebody could be having something very important that we need to pick. But because maybe I'm instigated by somebody, fulani akikuja kwa space, let's flood on him or her. Then we started doing that, and we realized that we are losing the direction, and we find ourselves not being able to attain. Because once we see a politician who is saying, I am in the opposition, I am in, we also flood on them, and we flood on everyone. Then where are we going? Because when we are divided, everybody will do what they want to do. There's a lady who was here, and I remember her saying she will do what she wants to do. But by the end of the day, let's agree that if we do not have a direction and we do not moderate all what we have together, because we are in the same basket and for the same vision and the same mission, we may not make it. It's personally, I'm just trying to think and rethink and figure out how best can we ensure that the areas that president is taking his politics now is very hostile. The ground is very hostile for him, because the moment the ground becomes hostile, then he will also be finding himself unable to move out, because whenever he says, I'm going to Nakuru, he knows the people there, once he gets there, the people are hostile. He says, I'm going to Ukambani, he gets there, and the people in Ukambani are hostile. He goes to Kirinyaga, and the people there are hostile. That means he will not continue with the politics, and he will again settle down and start thinking about, what do these people want? Can they be saying what they want? Then I try to effect it, because now I do not have peace. I cannot run this country. That's one thing I'm thinking about. The other thing I'm thinking about is also, we need to focus on the things which are bringing down the country, and also things that which are also, we also need them done for us. You need to focus on what is really happening in the immigration, what is really happening in the DCI headquarters, what is really happening in any place where we get essential services or essential documents. We need to start shouting about the high prices of the passports. We need to start shouting about the IDs, high pricing of the IDs. And we need to be shouting also about the expired IDs, so that expiry date is erased from the IDs. And anyone who has an ID which has an expiry date, that expiry date is invalid. We don't want to see other IDs being produced with an expiry date, because you don't stop being a Kenyan after you have exhausted 10 years of you since when you were born in Kenya. You don't expire from being a citizen of Kenya. Another thing is that you need to remember that so many people are coming from outside the country, and they are being given IDs in our country at our own expense, in the name of expiring IDs, so that they can go back to their countries if they want to go back. We are not foreigners in this country, and we are the majority. So anybody who is actually encouraging that process of giving expiring IDs, we know where you are taking us, we know where you want to take us, and we are not going to tolerate it. And we need to revive this as a team, all of us, because one thing we are saying is that we did achieve, but we achieved because Nane, we achieved because these people came out because they listened to what we said. So we command, and it does happen even without our presence or with the few people, and it happened. But one thing I know is that we can be commanding, and once we have we moderate all what we have, the strong things that we need them done, we amplify it. Once we amplify it, it's going to be done because we are there making noise. We are not keeping quiet about it, because eventually, if the ground is hostile and in the spaces it's hostile, and we are dictating what we want it done, definitely it will be done. Guys, let's wake up, let's stand, and let's also try to have tolerance and try to think, to reason like anyone who is not against us is for us. Let no one feel superior than the other. We are all suffering. Tukienda supermarket, kila mtu tunanunua the same price. Tukienda sokoni pale, kama hakuna tomato, everybody's buying tomato at the 20 bob shillings, one tomato at 20 bob. And we are all suffering. So how does our division come? The division in this country is only between two classes, the poor and the rich, or with the citizens and the politicians. Guys, we need to tell ourselves that, and especially the politicians who are in power right now, who are oppressing us. We need to stand out. Any other politician who is on our side, we need to encourage them so that we move together as a team, so that our voices can be heard and we can amplify ourselves. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Let's also continue praying. Ruto must go. Let's figure out how best we can make the ground hostile. Tukijua anaenda mahali fulani, we make it very hostile for him to be there. Thank you so much, and may God bless us.
Thank you, Josephine. God bless us indeed. Powerful points right there. I'll give the microphone to Rurigi wa Jihia. Rurigi, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Kenya, or is it good afternoon?
Hey, Rurigi, we can't hear you.
You can hear me? You can't or you can?
Travelers, unasikia Rurigi?
Yes, namsikia vizuri sana.
Okay.
All right, asante sana Afrocentric, kama unisikii, Travelers, all the hosts and the co-hosts. Nataka kusema ya kwamba this is very good business you're going on with. Most of the spaces have gone off into other matters and not realizing that we have unfinished business to continue to deal with. First, we should not feel disillusioned. We have succeeded to move very far, but we need debriefing. And I think that's what we are doing right here. Whenever anything, an activity has taken place, we need to reflect and do a check on what went wrong and what went right. It's my submission that there are a lot of things that went right in Nane, but equally a lot of things that did not go right. That's why I believe there's a lot of disillusionment. Some of us, I am abroad, and somehow it appeared like the mainstream media was bought off, or I don't know which methods were used to coerce them. They were not covering the or maybe it is because I don't have access to Kenyan TV, but I did not see much of coverage of Nane. They actually paid more attention to the swearing in that was going on. The audacity of arranging a swearing in, it looks like intelligence had gone on and convinced these people that uh, there is not going to be a very serious push in terms of numbers and the way they blocked the entry into the town. So what went wrong, I would want to say, is people tended to want to use public means of transport. But on the 25th of June, where the media was covering very well and there was a lot of internet online publicity, I could see all routes. There were people walking all the way on Gong Road. There were people walking all the way in Thika Road. Even when they brought the police the next day, the military, people were walking and going to Nairobi. But on this time, a lot of people wanted to walk, to drive into town. And I think that's one of the mistakes that was done. People should have walked. If you watch what happened in what is this country in Asia where there
You
were
mean
very
Bangladesh?
in Bangladesh, yes, you could see people on the street from all directions, like happened on the 25th. So that's where we dropped the ball. Number two, I think we also gave too much elitist. I believe the movement felt like it was an elitist youth who are on Twitter, on internet. A lot of slum youth, people living in Korogosho, people living in Kawangware, people living in Soweto, Mukuru kwa Jenga, all these places, they were not mobilized enough. And so the government took advantage to buy them off with as little as 200 shillings and such kind of figures. I think in future, this movement needs to bring in everybody, including the semi-illiterate youth. One of the things I've been thinking about is the border people. I participated in the campaigns of 2022. I was in Kenya trying to run for MP seats in Nakuru. And the border are the most influential people in most of these cities. The information they give you is very, very accurate and to the point. They will tell you who is in, who is gonna, they're like, if you do a poll of border people, you will get the side or what we call the direction the people are taking. But this group, who should have been very outraged themselves because they were promised a lot of things, serikali ya mama mboga, boda, hawa watu ya mkokoteni, those same people were used by the regime and continue to be used even in these demonstrations. I don't know how we can bring in the boda people into the demonstrations. I think a lot of them are semi-literate youth, sorry to say this, and they were left out because they fight for the day. As long as they get 500 in the day, their day is set. This is money they have not spent gas on, so they will go with whoever is giving them the money, and they don't have to go out to their normal duties. Also, I want to say there's another issue of the movement failing to adhere to the adage that says the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We seem to have driven out people, all like-minded people, beginning with members of the original movement, whereby people continue to castigate each other. There was Gaido, there was people like Boniface Mwangi. Boniface Mwangi did his own thing with his NGO financing and other, but to a larger extent, he has been in support of the movement, using his own methods, whether paid or not. But he was a friend of the movement. But people continue to castigate him. People continue to ignore, even when he posted that he was having some problems. People said he's state sponsored and whatever. I don't know the veracity of the matter, but I believe if we continue that way, the movement it has Zambaratika.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
need, yeah. Is my time up?
A few more seconds.
Oh, okay. How much time are you giving? 5 minutes? 3 minutes?
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So that I can land and conclude, I think I want to say going forward, we cannot relent now. We have gone so far, and if we give up at this point, we'll have lost all the gains that we achieved. First, with removing, the reject the bill. One other problem that I noticed with the Nane, the messaging was not articulate. We did not have specific demands except that Ruto must go. But everybody knows that nobody who is entrenched in the system will go just like that, like it is a walk in the park. You have to push, you have to have the numbers. But the message was not clear. We need clear messaging. Like, for example, we should have been saying reject the cabinet so that even the swearing in that was happening should not have been happening. Yeah, because that was a slap and a finger to the face. We also need to continue to follow with the parliament, occupy parliament. Occupation of parliament did not end, especially because that is where our youth lost their life. That should be the monument. Our anger should be directed to that parliament because that parliament is the one that did exactly vet these people. You saw the circus that happened with the vetting, and it was clear that you have a corruption scandal, and to be a billionaire or a millionaire to be able to be nominated by Ruto. So let's finally to land. Let's embrace leadership. This organization will need leadership, as we had said, and the leadership is actually showing itself out. We need to be organic, but again, we have to recognize we cannot go on for too long without a command structure because all these spaces were having their own uh, mobilization, but there was no central focus on where to start, where to go next. There was no command structure. So that's why people were isolated, some in Kawangware, some in Thika Road, some in Kangemi, and no people were not able to reach the city.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, so I think those are some of the observations I wanted to bring to the to the space, but we cannot give up at this point. Some of us abroad are waiting for a Kenya, like the previous speaker said. We have investments in Kenya which have been netting losses since COVID. We thought that this was a government that was going to rectify matters and bring things so that we can get a return to our investments, but it's all in vain. So we have to continue and don't give up, but let's embrace the enemies of our enemies. Thank you so much. I
Thank
will
you.
use that for now.
Thank you so much, Rurigi. Thank you so much. Very nice points there. Afro is done. I think Afro has also lost connection with us. Right. So we're gonna move forward to Mr. Wallace. What do you want to tell us this morning? I think I see your hand is up.
Good morning. If you can hear me, just give me 100 so that I know I'm audible. Oh, perfect. Now, first thing is to agree with Josephine, who spoke a bit earlier. I'm going to be as quick as possible. That people need to be united. We need to keep the ground as alive as possible. Part of this movement is letting the message always remain clear that the people of Kenya have already decided, and it's a permanent statement, that this system of government and leadership must go sooner or later. We don't need to use violence. And we noted that Gen Zs had been doing that very well when they were occupying churches and occupying events, to the point where these politicians had stopped even using chase cars, putting on flags, because they don't want to be known when they are moving. Things need to remain that real for them. That's part of the protest. An ongoing, permanent situation where they know we are no longer listening to your lies. We know you're not telling us the truth. Your actions are not matching up to any of the promises you supposedly made during elections, or even you are making now. So the other thing is to say that there's need for what she's mentioned, unity. I've been advocating or pushing for the reality that we need to be having one mega space at least once a week. The host can rotate, it doesn't have to be hosted by any specific person. But the fact that all Kenyans have the same ambition, there's a Kenya that we want, there's a Kenya that we are desiring, means that we can all be meeting in one united space once in a while, where we air all the ideas and the things that we want to put forward. In the same dimension, there's a reality of spaces. Like now, let's say in this space we are over 100, 300. The moment you are a particular number, it's impossible for everybody to get the mic. That's just the reality of time. And therefore, we need to start using technology to help us out in that dimension. There's been a creation of a group, like there's a group called on Telegram called the Kenya We Want. We pour all our people into one location where we now start distilling and collecting all our ideas. Otherwise, when we have 50 spaces, everybody is talking, the minority in that space will speak. Those ideas will not be captured. They will not be distilled into something actionable. We'll just end up talking and talking and talking. And we have good ideas. Kenyans are very intelligent. Kenyans are very smart. But if we do not capture this thing that we are discussing, we will end up not having anything to work with. So the reality is we need to start, besides having a common space, to have common social media points of contact, where we refine these things that we are discussing on the spaces into something actionable, to have what are called working groups. I can give you an example. Or in the comments, for example, I've pinned the link to a Telegram group for the Kenya We Want. I can give you an example. We have been working on a solution for having decentralized blockchain voting for Kenya. We are working on it. It's a work in the pipeline. What does it mean? Blockchain will allow you to have a corruption-free election. You don't need IBC people monitoring how votes are going. It is a decentralized system so that there's no closed server. It's a transparent server. As people vote, votes are seen, they are counted. The moment the last person votes, actually, because it's computerized, the moment any candidate passes 50% plus one, whether they are ward rep, MP, senator, governor, or president, the system already knows who is likely winning that election. And it lets people know, but all the voting is counted for the sake of due process, okay? And because it's blockchain, it is incorruptible. That is why Bitcoin is worth so much money. You can't corrupt that system. That is why that thing is valuable. So there are people working on tech solutions that will help us have things that we can work with to make our governance better. Besides that, you can have blockchain run our treasury, run KRA. Every single shilling that is collected, every Kenyan can look into the system and know it's been collected. It can run on the treasury. We can know where every last shilling was spent, from how it has been distributed to counties, how much went to KEMSA, how much went to education, how much went to everywhere. We can work on solutions, but we need to come together because we need the brains together. Kenyans are very intelligent. Wherever we go, whether it is at home or abroad, Kenya is respected for our human resource. You go abroad, Kenyan, if you go to that state, Kenyans are in NASA. They're everywhere. We have the brains. What we need to do is come together, organize, and then mobilize. If we don't come together, we will be the goal of this. Anybody who wants to manipulate a majority is always divide and conquer. That is why tribalism used to work. Gen Zs have been started on that. We need to help them finish when they say they are tribeless. Now they've tried classism. That is why there was that abuse of those guys who are protesting eating KFC and using smartphones. They were trying to bring classism. But the reality is, right now, it is about the political class against Wazalendo, against Kenyans who love this country. And they're depending on the old system where Kenyans were just regular wananchi. They were not informed, they were not participating in their governance. We just used to, like, you remember on TV, ningependa serikali, ningependa, they used to think the serikali must do. But after the new constitution was promulgated in 2010, that constitution gave us the right to participate in our own governance. We can get to speak to how our county funds are allocated and the development in your ward. Remember, your ward is you live in your ward. That's the closest. The first person who you touch, who governs you, is your ward rep. But I don't want to digress too much. But the thing is, we need unity. We need people going into the same social media spaces to bring their ideas together, to bring their solutions together, to then vote on the best way forward. We want, for example, this blockchain system, other than just voting for general elections, to be part of the participation process, where you can go online. Let's say either you've come into this space, it's for your ward, or it's on Facebook, or wherever it is, even if it's multiple online spaces. As a ward, you discuss the development you want, you bring the issues together, you vote for them using the blockchain. You tell your ward rep, when you go to the county assembly, these are the things you will put forward. You bring anything else other than this, and you say anything else other than this, we will fire you, because the constitution allows us to withdraw you, to impeach you after 2.5 years. We can use technology to have us, we the people, governing the country of Kenya. I want you to have that paradigm shift. Technology, the reason we use the system we're using now, which we got from the British, was when they started it. It's called the Westminster model. The British could not all go to the parliament in London, just like the way all Kenyans can't go to parliament in town. So you needed to elect representatives, and then you trust that when they go to parliament, they will represent your interests as the constituency. But in reality, we have seen it even in Kenya. We can tell them, don't pass that tax bill, it is punitive. Did they listen to us, or did they listen to the president? They chose to listen to the president, telling you that that system doesn't work. Technology will allow us to be we the people running the country of Kenya by having every decision from ward level up to country level being decided by everyone, me, you, everyone on this group, and everybody in Kenya. Because we are intelligent enough. We cannot fit in one building, but we can fit online. How many, a space can take even 3 million people if it needs to. So a ward is not nothing. A constituency is nothing. Even account. Now, what we need is Kenyans to be woken up to learn you must participate in your governance. Stop being the old mwananchi, be a mzalendo. A mzalendo knows do you know what's happening, what's going to be discussed in your county assembly the next 1 month? If you don't know, what are you keeping your MCA accountable for? You don't know what he's supposed to go discuss. We knew what they were going to discuss on that day of the finance bill. That's why people showed up. When you know what is going wrong, you are able to stand up and stop it as a mzalendo. The difference between a mwananchi and a mzalendo is what? The level of ignorance. If you don't know what's happening, you don't even know they want to take your land. You don't know they are taking away your seeds. You don't know that they want to do all these nasty things because you are asleep. You are just being a regular mwananchi. Mzalendo is going to keep track of what's going wrong and they will stop it. And that is why we want to create a system where one day State House will be like a museum. We'll be saying Zamani decisions were made here, but nowadays we the people.
Thank you.
Okay, anyway, so let me just finish. So the idea is kindly, let's just meet in the same groups. Let's have a mega space. Guys put their egos down. We'll be coming to everybody's space, but let's have a mega space every week. I've sent a link on the comments for the group, and I will even send you the blockchain we're working on is going to be called Kura.vote. It's pretty much Mzalendo's Kura, but you can think of it like M-Pesa. You will be voting, and that vote will be permanent and it will be incorruptible. We will use it for citizen participation and for voting elections. So thanks for your time. Of course, there are a lot of guys who need to talk, but check the comment, check the vote, join the group, join the group, and let's work from there. And please, Afro, can you guys agree we'll be doing mega spaces? Please, just agree. Then you can do your spaces, but let's have a mega space once or twice a week that we rotate the leaders, so the hosts. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wallace, for that wonderful contribution. It's very right that young people cannot sit on the fence anymore. We have to participate in issues, politics, issues affecting our country. And we can no longer say that one common phrase we normally use, young people, is that siasa mimi sitaki. It's not going to be business as usual. We have to participate in politics so that we get leaders who serve us, not their interests. Thank you so much for that. I want to go. There are very many requests on the speakers panel, but I want to go to Kings. So once it's 3 minutes, because we have to get as many people to speak and share ideas as possible. And then we will come to Simon next in that order. And then once you speak, I will drop just drop yourself. And it's 3 minutes. And the topic, guys, is unfinished business. We have to reject bad governance. We are discussing steps on how we want to get moving forward. What do we need to do better to be able to reach everyone? So Kings, then we go to Simon in that order, 3 minutes each. Thank you.
Okay, thank you host, thank you co-host, all speakers and all listeners. Nyinyi ni mabingwa sana kwa kuchukua wakati wenu kuhudhuria hii space. So guys, I have just few words to say. At first, Ruto is playing with their mind. Ruto is playing a mind game. Guess what? Because Ruto, unajua hii serikali, Ruto is afraid of losing Aden Duale, of losing Kipchumba Murkomen, of losing Kindiki, or those arrogant cabinets wenye ama point. So, unajua, maybe during campaign, Ruto promises these guys, and the guys give them support. Walumpa support, maybe kifedha, kinini, all means. But sasa, since Ruto mwenyewe amepita, kuavoid imekuwa ngumu sana because they have shares on KK government. Ndio maana unapata anarudisha watu tu serikalini. Even though all what Kindiki did during the first demonstration, allow police kushoot peaceful demonstrators. So unaona kama ingekuwa tu kweli Ruto anafuata sheria au mtu kama Kindiki, mtu kama huyu Aden Duale disobeying law, analeta KDF without court approval, au watu wote wangekuwa rejected. But umeona wamerudi serikalini. So Ruto is playing with their mind. Na currently we don't have opposition, but nani huyo anasema tuko na opposition? We don't have. Hii ni state capture. Ruto ameshika MPs, parliament ameshika, Ruto ameshika opposition. Sasa Raila atasema nini? Raila ana say, because we don't have opposition unless we Gen Z to opposition. But guys, let us have strategies. Tuwe na one agenda. Because always yende kwa space mtu mwingine, people are talking different agenda, unakuja kwa huyu, let us have organize ourselves, we come up with one agenda. As Gen Z, we come up with one agenda so that we push this to tusukume hii safari hadi 2027. Comes 2027, tuwe set. we are set and we are ready to come and to vie for the presidency, to vie for MPs. So many people watajitokezea. Let us have votes. Watu washike kura, vile watafungua hivi, watu muende mshike kura, muende mshike ID, so that coming 2027 we have a strategy. Let us come up with a strategy. Hiyo kitu ni muhimu sana, strategy. So far we are disorganized. So far kila mtu akona nini yake tu. Oh, Ruto must go. If you ask someone, or okay, Ruto ameenda, what next? So many people are confused. They don't know what next. Watasema, so choose another leader. So many people hawajui who's the next leader. So let us continue pushing the hashtag Ruto must go, but let us have one agenda, common agenda. Kila mtu, kila youth ukimuuliza this anasema ni hivi na hivi. Si unauliza huyu anasema hivi, huyu anasema hivi. Before 2027 tuwe tumejiorganize. Hizi vitu yenye tuko saa hizi, no, not this way. Let us organize ourselves. Thank you, and God bless Kenya. God bless all of listeners, speaker, every youth. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Kings, for that very brilliant contribution. One agenda, tushike kura. Let's get going with the civic education. Let's have a sense of direction. What next? And that's very, very brilliant. So happy with that contribution. We moved to our next speaker. I want to clear the speakers so we can bring in more speakers. So I'm not adding more speakers. Just be patient. Those who have requested, you all coming. So I want to move to the real king. I believe that is him, the real Joe. Yeah. So
the next speaker.
3 minutes. Oh,
It's
sorry.
supposed to be Simon.
Oh yes, Simon. Yeah, Simon was one. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
I hope you guys are okay. So like mimi kuna kitu moja nataka kusema. Wenye tu walisema ati maandamano will be done in Nairobi, hapo ndipo tulimess. Like mimi nikiulizwa, this maandamano should be done everywhere. Like last time venye tulikuwa tunazifanya. We should occupy every state, every county we should occupy. Kila mtu occupy kwao. Venye tulifanya on 25th. Like wote walijua hakuna mahali mtu anaweza potelea. Tuache kushinda hapa tukiambiana sijui tunaenda kuoccupy State House. Wa Nairobi wa occupy State House. Kila mtu occupy kwao. Hiyo ndio inakuwa rahisi. Na I think itawaka kwa kila mtu. Then another thing, it's about these fights ziko online. Kwa nini tuna fight? You know one thing, you don't have to choose a leader. A leader yeye mwenyewe anajionyeshana. And so far, kila mtu akiulizwa, kuna mwenye unaweza taka akuwe leader. And most of us najua tuko like na mtu mmoja tu. Mimi niko sure kuna mtu mmoja anaweza taka akuwe leader. Sisemi ni nani, na sitaki ati niambie mtu wewe useme ni nani. But tunajua, but we need a leader. Me like there was a time like sometimes back nilikuwa nakumbuka the things tushaifanya high school. Maandamano ya shule tumefanya maandamano mingi shule mingi. And there was always a leader. Ndio ikue nini it happen. Kila siku ingekuwa na leader. Mbona hii sasa like tunajisema saa zote tunasema sisi ni leaderless. Nani ataongea tukitaka like hakuna venye hata mimi nitaamka leo niambie kila mtu nikisema mimi ni leader kivyangu like at first ilikuwa inawaka. Juu at first kuna kenye tulikuwa nataka. But saa hii na restructure wanaonyesha kenye like wao wanataka wafanye. Pia sisi we should be having a leader na mwenye anasikiza. Na like uko na number of times yenye tukikwambia kitu ukatae kufanya. Si tunakungoa hapo sisi wenyewe. Si tumeonyesha like tunaweza ngoa anybody. Tunakuondoa hapo. Like the thing mimi advocate for, we should be having a leader na mwenye sisi wenyewe tumesema ni huyu. We don't have a to kwenda kuvote. And also we need to have a party. Kama tutashindwa kuwatoa through maandamano come 2027 we need to be having that party yenye tunaipopularize saa hii. Sasa inafika 2027 tunasema sijui tuko na nani na nani. Ruto sasa anashajipanga. Amejua venye atapata kura za Coast, amejua venye atapata za Nyanza, amejua venye atapata za Western, za Central Kenya, amejua venye atazipata. Like nyinyi mnafanya aje? Sisi tunakuja hapa tunaambiana hatuna leader. hatuna leader. Kama 2027 atarudi hapo tukisema tu hatuna leader. Atarudi hapo na hakuna kitu mtafanya. Na like for the from 2027 to 2032 kitu anaweza wafanyia na yozaua nyinyi wote juu anajua kuna kitu nini anataka ingine. Sasa anajua like sasa yako 50-50 and I'm also 50-50 juu hao wazazi wetu mimi sijui ni waida wajinga na sifai kutusi wazazi. Like tumeona wakienda kuandamana wapewe 200. 200 ni nini na mtoto wako anauliwa huko? 200 ni nini na mtoto wako anakosa pesa nini ya kwenda kutafuta kazi? Mtoto wako anaitwa interview. Anakuja kutuambia online sijui ni changieni. Na huyo mzazi the same mzazi ndiye anaenda kupigia Ruto hapa makofi. Fares zinakuwa hyped. Imagine like I had a friend mwenye alimiss an interview juu hakuwa na 500. Na ni mtu wa kwanza kukuambia na Ruto anafanya kazi. Siwezi kusaidia mimi hata nikakuwa na pesa ngapi siwezi kusaidia. So acha umisi ndio ujue kazi yenye Ruto anafanya ni gani. We need to have a leader, we need to have a party. Na mtu mmoja na feel kana anasema vibaya niambie saa hii. Si kushinda tukisema hapa sisi ni watu faceless. We have faces. Tumesoma tunajua venye like hizi vitu tunafaa kufanya zote. So like tunaweza toa huyu mtu kama 2027 tutavumilia akose kufanya kitu. Instead ya watu wanakufa hapa then tuna like after a few days watu wanakufa then tunakuja hapa tuna step down tunaanza kumbo tena like tunamwambia sasa like ni kama wametuweza twendeni tupange tunaenda tena tunapanga ndio watu wengine wakuja wakufe. Kwani like you people don't feel the pain mimi yenye na feel watu wakikufa? Do you know like how mtu feel akipoteza mtu? Unajua like hakuna mzazi atakanga kuona mtoto wake akikufa. Na so far si wazazi wanakufa ni watoto wanakufa watoto wao. Like we need to feel the pain. Si ati tunaenda hapo like mimi damu yenye wote wamekufa iko kwangu kwanza kwa mikono yangu. Sita blame mtu mwingine. Mimi najiblame mimi mwenyewe. Juu like Kenya walikuwa wanapigania nimestop saa hii sipiganie anymore. But wewe uko hapo unataka kutuambia sisi ni watu faceless sijui sisi twende tupange tena ndio tukuje tukufe, si ndio? Is that the thing tunataka? Like mimi na feel like kuna watu nimewaste. Kuna watu wengi, kuna Wakenya wengi vijana wamekufa na nimewawaste. Imagine like sasa mtu hayuko. Huyo mzazi alikuwa anajua kijana wangu akimaliza shule kwanza unaona mtoto wa single mother anakufa. Do you know how like what the hell those people go through ndio mtoto wake asome? Huko nje kila mtu anajua single mother ni malaya. Like wewe umegrow ukijua mama yako anaitangwa malaya unataka umsaidie but unakufa. Huyo mama anasikia aje? Most of these people unaona hawaoni wazazi wao, hawaoni baba zao. Kwani like we are not feeling the pain ukweli. We are not feeling the pain. Mimi nataka kitu moja tu, let's have a party, let's have leaders. Hiyo ndio kitu naweza ambia mtu. Na mwenye anasikiza na mwenye akona akili. Kama una akili si lazima usikize. Tumebembelezana sana hapa. I think
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution, Simon. He thinks we need a party, we need leaders. We can't continue to be faceless anymore. And that is his wonderful contribution. Thank you, guys. We're moving on very well. I want to clear the speakers. So if your request is coming, I can see many requests on the speakers request side, and I'll just want to clear all the speakers so we can be fair. Welcome to Afro Space. He's very, very honest, fair. Doesn't matter how many followers you have or who you know, he will always come to share ideas. We're discussing unfinished business because we think that's the topic. We have a lot of things to discuss, and we believe there's a long way to go, and we're doing very well. So when you come, tell us what you think we need to do better. What you think, what are the steps going forward as we try to work hard to better our country. So our next speakers, we only have 3 speakers, around 3, and then I'll bring in more. So I'll go with this order. I will go with the first one will be the real Joe, then Riek Machar, and then Alice will close that chapter, and then I will bring in more speakers. So in that order, we'll start with the real Joe. The time is 3 minutes because we have got almost 40 requests on requests. So we go with the that's 3 minutes exactly. So we start with the real Joe. The mic is yours.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So first of all, the topic is unfinished business, and we're rejecting bad governance. First of all, just to mention a few things from what previous speakers have talked about, I just want to echo some of the speakers who have talked about division that has been ongoing, but also we need also to be a little bit realistic. I know sometimes we might not all have the same ideas as a people, and therefore this division, this is basically part of some of the shortcomings of a leaderless movement. But for me, I really don't see a problem with that as long as we have even all those divisions, as long as we have the same cause. That is my thinking. But we need to also, I don't know whether there's someone who is speaking because I can hear some noise.
Can you hear the noise now? I think I've muted everyone except you. Can you hear the noise now?
Okay, let me just continue speaking. So basically, there are a few things that now we need to come to reality, to terms with. Number one, we need funding. Ile funding yenye watu walikuwa wanaongelea, kuna watu wamekuwa funded. Let them be funded as long as they are continuing to be part of the course. We will need that funding. Therefore, we have to come up with mechanisms on how we are going to be funded. Therefore, from today, we need to start thinking about how we are going to be funded. Because the fight, we need to brace up. We need to brace for a long war. That is number one. So we have to find a way of how we are going to be funded. And we have to come up with mechanisms of how we are going to be securely funded. We know the government is also going to interfere with our modes of funding. So we need to find a way of how we are going to be securely funded. Number one. Number two, as someone had said earlier, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. And therefore, initially when we were starting the movement, we were shunning out politicians. But high time, we'll have to incorporate any politician who is thinking and who is pro us, whether they are for their own selfish ambitions or something. As long as they are fighting for the movement, I don't care. We need to incorporate any other person who thinks or who has the same ideology as us. That is number two. Number three, we need to also implement other dirty means. We are now fighting a dirty game. If you guys didn't notice, and I mentioned this in the previous space just before we went to the Nane, that week, the whole of that week, the media was airing propaganda about a coup. And they had aired very long stories about coup. And that was one way in which we were being fought in terms of propaganda. And if you look at that, that played really well in causing fear among the older generation who are thinking that, the government is going to take this as a coup. So that was a propaganda. Therefore, we also need to implement our own methods of propaganda. And we need to amplify. We also need to use fake news right now. This is war. War is war. So there's no nothing that we are going to. Someone told me that, we have enough facts. Yes, we have enough facts, but is everyone on board with those facts that we have? No. There are people who can only be swayed by propaganda. Therefore, we have to look for those people and sway them using propaganda. And if this tactic of propaganda usually works, almost it has a success rate of 90%. You can go back and check a report that was done by Cambridge Analytica about the elections of 2017. It is propaganda. Propaganda works so much. Therefore, we also have to employ propaganda. Someone talked about the packaging of our messages. Therefore, we also need to, as much as we package our messages with facts, we also need to package our message with a lot of exaggerations. So therefore, whenever we are talking about issues to do with maybe JKIA and all those kind of things, we will have to package a lot of exaggerations on our messages so that when this message gets to other people, it is exaggerated in a way that they do not need any other further explanation to have, or any other explanation about what we are doing. those are some of the things that will help us get the masses behind us, because the fight that we are going to fight right now, it is dirty already. We already gotten ourselves into mud. Therefore, we have to play inside that mud and dance in the mud. Then finally, as I conclude, we have to get out of the spaces. We have to get out of the spaces. We have to go to the ground. If you go to the ground, then you'll understand there are a lot of things. Last week when we were doing civic education, I think the last civic education we did, the one I want to talk about, was at Jivanji. And this one in particular, because for those people who always attend, when you want to attend hizi bunge la wananchi, if you attend them, you will realize that those bunges are very, very effective. And specifically the one that I always attend here, Jivanji, the bunge is always very, 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 very effective. And you'll even see that in that bunge, they have their own ongoing cases. They sued Kenya on East African Court of Justice. And there's an ongoing case about that concerning the deaths that happened in the previous maandamanos that we did. Most of the maandamano that we did in 2023. Some of you never participated, but some of us participated in the maandamano for 2023. And therefore, we have to get out and get to the ground and meet people. Of course, not everybody has that charisma of going out. But for those people who can go out, if you think you can go out and meet people. Even me, I never thought I would ever one day go out, maybe even take a matatu na nisimame kwa matatu na nianze kuongelesha watu. It is some kind of madness they just got in because of the movement. And therefore, these times we have to also employ more than one means. And finally, as I conclude, I want to give responsibility to the people who host spaces. There are so many ideas that people talk about in these spaces, and I don't know how they are followed up, and I don't know how they are taken in. This space is like a citizen assembly. And you, as the host or the co-host, you are the speakers and the deputy speakers. And therefore, all the points that are being raised here, don't ignore any point from anybody. You need to note them down and need to follow up, so that when we are done with this space and the topic was unfinished business, most of the issues that were raised, how are they going to be implemented? Then you need to find out how they are going to be implemented in other private means, not in spaces again. Implementation does not happen in spaces, because in these spaces, this is where we were beaten. The NIS were in these spaces with us. They fought with us the information war. We won the information war until Thursday. On Thursday, we lost the information war. Therefore, we need to find a private ways of implementing the ideas that these noble citizens are raising in these spaces. And that is the responsibility I'm going to give to the hosts of the spaces. We need to see more action now going forward. And we need to see the next time you are hosting a space, Afro and Tribeless, you need to have concluded matters that were raised on this space, and even delegated other duties and responsibilities to other people you think can help in settling the issues that were raised in these spaces. That is the only way we will move forward. Next time when we are going to war, we need to have a plan B. For those people who are going, I'm concluding, for those people who are going for the protest on Thursday, you saw we were cut off on logistics. And therefore, next time, because we organized the logistics so well for the people who are coming out of town, but we didn't organize the logistics in terms of people who are reaching the CBD. And therefore, because that is the only way we were cut out. These guys talked about, because some of the people I talked to, they said they are really afraid of this movement. Why are they afraid of this movement? These guys say occupy churches, they go and occupy churches. These guys say occupy parliament, they went and occupied parliament. So these guys said occupy state house, you cannot leave them, they will go and occupy state house. Na nyinyi pia, you guys otherwise mungeachwa mungeenda state house. So that is just a fact. Tungeachwa, tungeingia your state house. It is not a joke. And therefore they don't take us as jokes. And therefore that is why they had to cut out logistics. So don't think that you failed. That is a very huge message that was sent out there. And therefore next time we'll have to look for dubious ways, hata kama ni kufanya nini, kuhaya matatu privately and follow other routes, because for tungefuata other routes kama ni watu wa Thika Road, there are so many ways tungefuata rather than bypass, uingie Westlands, uingie watu wanatokea CBD. Same to other places. But next time we need to have more than one plan. Thank you very much for the many remarks I've made.
Wow, that is very, very brilliant of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is true, I can confirm, and because I have been a frequent member of the spaces, I can confirm that the government is here everyone in this space through proxies. Itumbi is here as well, and we know it's important he knows that we know he is here, and many other NIS officers are here, and the police, and they follow us very much on space, and that's how they were able to counter us anyway. But we don't fear them. Sometimes when you speak the truth and you speak for your country, you should not fear anyone. And very true that we're taking notes, and we have to follow up. Otherwise, if we don't take notes on the important points you make here, then all will be like making noise. We have to take notes, and we have to take every point very seriously, so at least we know we have a follow-up. We can check on where we are. Thank you so much. Next is Riek. I think it was Riek Machar, and then Alice, and then we complete that set of speakers. We have a long list in the request section. So can we go to Riek Machar? 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Afrocentric, Tribeless, and everyone in this space. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Or we can hear you.
Okay, thanks. So in this one, unfinished business. It's true, it's unfinished. And we are here until the day itakuwa finished, because tulianza vizuri, but the way we are going, there are some people who are saying that, last maandamano haikuwa success, but what I can tell you, ilikuwa success. Watu walienda, but that day, the police were so many everywhere. They occupied everywhere. So that's why some people waliingia tao wakarudi. In this issue, kuna sahi trend inaendelea of people being paid by the same government, the government which is killing its own people. Unapata sahi, but kuna kitu ingine hapa, ni idea tu. Kuna kitu inaendelea sahi, it's like tumewaachia sana au machiefs. Machiefs tumewaachilia sana sahi, wanatembea ukijua tu president anaenda mali. I know by this month atatutembelea huku side za Nyanza huku, vile ana launch like a borehole. Huyu jamaa ataanza kulaunch hadi feeder roads. Jamaa ana support, anajua hii country youth ndio wako wengi. And the youth, kuna time inafikanga hata your parents wanakutrust. Kama sahii mostly wengi wanatutrust juu wanasema like sahii mtu unaongea naye anasema hii kitu mlifanya hii tumejaribu from 19 something imekata. Yani walikuwa wanaogopa serikali. President akiongea hiyo ni final. Akisema we enda uuze ng'ombe yako ulete hiyo pesa hapa, that's final. But kitu Gen Z walifanya, and sahii we will make it Gen zote. Hakuna kitu ya Gen Z tena. Tuungane pamoja kama youth sahii, tuna recruit au wenye walikuwa kwa era ya Moi wenye wanaogopa serikali sana. Tuwaweke pamoja wakae na sisi huku. Ndio sahii unapata holiday, ya public holiday, mtu anaenda, yeye ni president. Anasimama kwa podium, anaongea vitu za uongo. Mara from next week, from next month. This guy is wasting our time. There's nothing this guy is doing. Unapata finance bill, wanapass finance bill, after 1 year wanarudi tena na nyingine. Ukiwauliza, last finance bill, mliokota bilioni ngapi na mlifanyia nini? They have nothing to explain. So these things wanafanya ni yani saa hii jamaa kwa gari ana campaign. Then huyu mzee wetu huyu mwenye ananunuliwa kila time, hata saa hii najua atanunuliwa. Anashajua tayari huko ile kiti ni ngumu kupata. Anajua atarudi tena hapa asimame president, anguke, ajoin the next government. alipwe. Jamaa, I think sahii hakuna kitu hii jamaa. He has nothing to lose. Kama ni pesa ako nayo, anakiangalia age yake, anaona hizo, hata tukifinywa aje after 10 years itakuwa worse na hatakuwa ana, hata kama atakuwa hana kitu ya kulose, akona kila kitu. So haizi kuja huku ati then sahii wanapanga hapa county government, sahii pesa zitapotea, wanaanza kutumia pesa zetu vibaya wakitafutia huyo jamaa ground like Homa Bay County. Homa Bay County sahii wanatembea na magari za county government, wana nini propaganda hizi, siyo John Mbadi is the cabinet secretary of treasury, yeye ana sign checks zinaenda kwa counties. So what? Let's just stand our ground. Anataka sign check, ndio hatukatai, yeye ana sign hizo checks zinaenda kwa counties. Akisign itatusaidia aje? Pesa itakuja na bado wataiba. So kidogo nimalizie kitu, nawaambia tena guys, like yesterday huyu mama wa Somali huyu mwenye ali step down for Raila akakuja kutuambia I step down to support huyu mzee. Just glad hiyo nini yake hiyo, tulienda huko tukamwambia huyo jamaa is not clean, jamaa hakuna hata akimsupport aje hatapata. Kuna post zingine siku hizi wanaleta watu wanaenda huko na kila kitu tunachokora wana delete. Tuweke hii ground hostile, ikuwe Twitter, ikuwe Facebook, ikuwe nini. Sasa hivi Peter Kaluma ametuzoea huku Twitter. Let's make this thing hostile. Msipe audience to somebody like Abraham Mutai, like Robert Alai. Let's fuck all of them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're very better. We're completing this round of speakers with Alice. Alice, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Yeah, so the mic is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me the space and time to speak. So I'm just going to echo most of the people that have spoken here, and it's about the unfinished business. So obviously we've had some hiccups on our way to get our goals. So the only thing I'm thinking is maybe we should set some goals and keep pushing. Alafu, there's other, I do want to echo some of the leaders here who talked about, and especially Wallace, who was talking about holding a mega space. That is such a brilliant idea, because I do think when we have one major mega space, there'll be so many people will be here. And when we are all here, so many people will be listening. And at the same time, obviously when many people are here, there are some people who come with different ideas. So I think is such a brilliant idea. And then he did talk about as well about the idea of the IT. I'm not an IT person, but I think he spoke about an IT where he shared a link or something where people will be able to see how much, say for example, if votes were being stolen. I can't remember exactly, but he was talking about like how things cannot be stolen. Say for example, from that, I think it's such a brilliant idea. The guy was just, most of the people are just spitting wisdom here. It's literally like we are on the same ground. Alafu, talking about that, I'm going to talk about obviously the people that no, not the people. I was talking, I'm going to say about let's embrace everybody, because obviously birds of the same feather flock together. And I would imagine, obviously, we are all comes from different places and we have different personalities. And we do have some people, obviously, who like to talk. They have their egos. Some of us are more of introverts. Some of us are extroverts. So obviously, because our aim and our agenda is like literally about Luther must go and finish our unfinished business. And obviously, when we all come together, people have different things that come up. So obviously, I think it's always good to embrace them, because if we can embrace the lawyers who are literally going to help them, people who are being, when you wanashikwa kwa a police station. So if you can embrace a lawyer who is not part of this bill, why would you not embrace a political? That's, I think, for me, I think is a bit selfish, because sababu, you only need, this is me thinking, we are only kind of embracing the lawyers because we are benefiting from them. But the politicians who may come with ideas, obviously, maybe, they're still in the government. So I would feel obviously they do have these usually little tip-offs from within their own government. Kwa hivyo utasikia mtu kama huyo amekuja na a better idea or a greater idea because of experience. So let's just embrace everyone because everybody is coming with different things. Alafu, the other thing I wanted to say, it's about taking notes. Say, I can't remember who said about you guys taking notes on what we are talking about here, because obviously another guy had spoken about we should have leaders. I think personally, I think myself as well, we should have a leader, because obviously if you're going to take, and if you'll be taking notes for everybody who is here, obviously, I think we are more than, I don't know how many we are because I can't see. Obviously, we are such a big multitude of people. And if you can take notes for all that or for all them people, nobody needs to be told that is not a reader, because if you're taking notes on my behalf, you're a leader. So obviously, we do need a leader, kwa sababu mi ukiniambia nichukue notes and obviously I even can't hold space. I can't be a leader. Lakini kama where you have, you have the multitude of people coming. So obviously you are a leader. And if we have to vote, sijui hiyo kitu inaitwa aje, where, say for us, I can't remember, but I think during the election there was this sort of where people were saying utavotia nani, sijui Martha Karua, utavotia sijui inaitangwa aje, it has a name, can't remember. Sijui Martha Karua, hata utavotia Kenyatta ama nani, I can't remember. It's like they put like 4 people who think people should be leaders and then to avotie, because we do need that. And then the other thing I was going to say is about Ruto, how he is treating we people. Like, say for example, he's talking about people having to have IDs, where in the real sense, the stupid bastard, what he did is that alifanya Kenya to be a visa-free country. Do you know how many tourists are coming every single day to our country? Yet it is by option. Wanakuja kwa sababu ya option. Hello? Can you hear me? Am I lost? Hello? Oh.
Yes, we are getting you. We are getting you so well.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, right. Thank you. I was talking about how Ruto made our country to be a visa-free for tourists. Do you know how much money he's losing every single day? Yet these people are coming to our country as an option. Well, when unakaa nchi yetu, that's your right. He's asking you to pay some bullshit taxes where you're not supposed to be paying. When someone is coming there to visit and see places, that's an option. Kwa sababu wako na pesa. Mwenye hana pesa au niwe anafinya sana. Lakini mwenye anakuja kuona nchi sijui anaona sijui wanyama poli or something. Maybe there are so many. How many people are within our country have not even been able to go to the beach? Have not been able to go to the wildlife to see, hii wanyama pori. Yet someone is coming up from the UK, God knows from where. Na anaambiwa ingie country visa free. Why would you be taxed? First tax them. Wao wanakuja kwetu. So literally it's just echoing. So many people are coming up with brilliant points. So the only thing I can say, please let's embrace in it, everyone. And thank you very much for this space. Thank you. Oh, another thing, the last thing, please. A lady I can't remember her name, Josephine, she said about making it so hostile for these people. Like literally, why would you be listening to him? Yani mimi nikimwona tu akiongea, I just remember my TV. I can't bear him. Yani hata Twitter, I don't want to see them talking. So why would people be listening to them? I think we should make it really hostile for them as well. That would be a brilliant idea. Kwa sababu kama anatupiga huko Nairobi, we can't be able to go and protest. Why would he be coming to our own village? Yani kwenye umezaliwa. Yeye anakuja kufanya nini? Mimi siwezi enda tao kwenye anaishi. Yeye anakuja kwetu kufanya nini? Azoe sasa tunakiongea nasema wewe kwenda mwizi, something of the sort. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alice, for that wonderful contribution. Just to remind you that, or to bring you some good news or bad news, is that in the marathon, the Olympics marathon, we have been able to get a bronze through Kipruto, who was just taken position 3. Position 1 went to Ethiopia, who have taken the gold, and I think Great Britain, some other from another country got silver, and we've gotten bronze. Our gold has not yet arrived at the finishing line, but Kipruto gave us bronze. So thank you so much, Alice, for that. We're gonna move again in this order, exact 3 minutes on the spot. So we're gonna time it now. So we have 6 sounds to speak next, and then the next will be Mzalendo, and then Worlds of Investigation will be the next person, and then Hannah. So 6 sounds. The mic is yours.
Uh, I'll say people. I see people complaining here, and I just came to tell people let's keep fighting. I think majority of us don't understand why we are fighting. Majority don't, because we are just speaking for the sake of speaking without trying to analyze what we need to do. But anyways, let's keep fighting. Let's try and understand why we are going out there. And there's somebody who spoke here, and whatever he was saying, I was trying to understand. I think it was Mutai or something. I just want to tell Mutai, the government would not have outsmarted us. It has not, and it will never. We are our own enemies, and that's why we have not removed this sitting government. If only we could come out in numbers without the fear that we have. We say let's go out. People come to speak here. They don't go out. Why? That is why we still have this sitting government. If only we could speak, we could walk the talk. Right now, we could be talking of other things, and we could be having a better country. So as much as we come and speak here, let's try and know that our greatest strength was not achieved, which was numbers. Other things will come in place. We are talking about leaders. Why are we talking about leaders? That is a topic that should not even come right now. As much as we have people who want to be leaders, they will just come. We have 2 years of what do you call it? 2 years to come of campaign and that period. When we get to 2026, as we go to 2027, we will know who wants to vie and who doesn't want to vie. We will vet and we will come up with something that is good. But right now, we cannot have a leader right now. This is the worst ever decision we will ever make. Come to think of it, Jimmy Wanjigi just went on the streets. He was there. He was standing beside me when he came to town with his car. He came up on Mbele Kilimanjaro restaurant. I was there. And after that, his house was ransacked by the army, not even police, army. And you could see the wives screaming on camera, please don't shoot me. So right now we chose a leader, goes out there, speaks. He doesn't have the machinery that Jimmy Wanjigi has. And Wanjigi is the one who supplies military uniform. So imagine a leader who doesn't have that power. We have a leader, yes, he doesn't have that power. He doesn't have that influence. The next day we get a body in Juja in a drainage system or in a dump or in Rivayala because we were so fast to choose a leader. Right now they cannot kill us. They cannot do whatever they are doing because they don't know where to go. They don't know who is funding. They don't know they have to remain who is funding. They don't know where this movement comes from. They don't know where the posters come. They don't know whatever is happening. As much as they are on these spaces, they just come to listen to ideas. And those ideas, they try go make them. But having a leader is one of the worst things you'll decide to have right now. And this, you'll come to see the essence of not having a leader right now as time goes by. But anyways, lastly, kindly work on numbers. If you know you want to fight for your country, don't fight for your country with fear. And people spoke here. I said, mutoe emotions kwa hii movement. Cancel all your emotions and start Just be as William Ruto. That man does not have emotions. People die, he will not come out to say that people die. He will defend his government. At the same time, we should also get rid of emotions and start defending we as a person. And that is how we will now get rid of this government. But if something small happens, we cry. Small happens, we cry. Small happens, we cry. We will keep crying and they get to us. Through those emotions is where they cripple us. And people stop coming out because of the emotions. But right now, if we decide wacha ikue kama mbaya mbaya, kama ni ngumu ni ngumu. That is always me. If you've ever seen me on those streets, hautainipata na mask, hautainipata na whatever. I go there knowing that I'm going to fight for my country. Na watu wanaenda na mask maandamano, hiyo kitu itakunyonga siku moja. If it's not a C4, kindly wachana nayo. Hiyo tear gas inakupigaga once, after that it cannot affect you further. So I'll just tell you that let's keep fighting for our country. Let's understand why we are fighting. The key thing is people don't know why they are fighting for their country. Thank you.
I think the next speaker should take the road. Who was following? Take the mic.
I think Mzalendo was following. Then I think I was next. Since because uh, he's not opening his mic, I think I can go on. So this is my submission, and before I give my submission, thank you Afrocentric and the co-host and everyone who is here. It's good that we are engaging. Actually, because our I think the more uh, we are getting to hold these spaces, the more we are expressing ourselves and the more we are educating each other. We have seen our media have abandoned the citizen. So actually, I want to say the media is not very powerful than what we are doing. Actually, I think now the real conversation are going on because the media gives selected information which the government intends the citizen to listen. So, but when we have spaces like these, we have different opinion and we talk about things that really matters. So, my submission today is about you see, we have to work opposite of what Ruto is doing. Like there is something we call parallel rallies. When Ruto is doing something, on the other side, we should be doing something. Now, what Ruto is doing is engaging those people in the villages. And it is our time, wherever we are, even if we are in the city or you are listening from the village. Like today is in Moranga. He told Moranga people that they will get electricity. Now, I believe there is a youth somewhere or someone somewhere where the government had intended to do some stadiums. Now, if you are there and that didn't happen, you should at least inform 3 people. This guy is a liar. This guy is a liar. Let's continue. Let's continue playing dirty for him. And I want to. There's something I like. I see many influencers. Influencers saying, "Who is the enemy today?" The enemy today should be always Ruto. Every day, every day, every day. Let's start digging his past mistakes, his past bad things like the stadium things, the maze scandals, the church thing where people died. Let's continue kuchafua jina yake yani. We didn't manage to get him out, but if we continue with the same spirit without giving up, the problem with us is that we forget so much. Like we have forgotten the Kware thing. Like we have forgotten the Shakahola thing. We forget very fast. Why do human beings forget so fast? What is this interesting about this man that he commits a very bad thing or he does us bad things, then the next day you forget? What makes human being forget? Why are we so forgiving? It's good to forgive, but to some extent we forgive and get in trouble. Now I think 6,000 the 6,000 and said that we don't need a leader. It's true, we don't need a leader, but we need an organization. We need to be organized. Like we were not organized. I can truly say that for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we have not been organized very well because we actually need a structure, if not a leader, structures. Yani, we need that body. We need one more body, not so many bodies. Then in that structure, let there not be leaders, but contributors, players. We didn't say a leader, we are saying a structure. We are saying a structure. Uh, mm, if if I guess we cannot fight government, which is a structure by itself, single-handedly. But a movement is not enough. A movement is not enough because at some point this movement gets this inaharibika too, day by day inaharibika. So we need to be organized, and we need to listen to each other. We need to talk in one language, and we need to participate more on spaces. So that is my submission today. Let's keep the spirit. And I want to say, in every movement there must be a motive. Kila mtu hapa anafaa kuwa na kamotive kake, however small it is. Have a motive. Don't just move because people are moving. Like me, I'm fighting for this because of the health sector. Linda Mama ikaondolewa. It affects me so much, so much, so much, because babies are getting born day in, day out, day in, day out. Now you come and get that one out, and then I had even these SHIF might turn back to NHIF very soon. There are some things I'm fighting for, and agriculture. For me, that what moves me most in is agriculture and health. So let's engage every day tweet something bad about Ruto, how he stole maize, something like that every day, and don't give up. We have 3 years. If we don't get him in 2027, then we are in troubles, more troubles. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. The war is not over. Thank you so much, the host, the co-host, and everyone who has been listening.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Afrocentric Tribalist, for this mic. Mine is, I have heard some other people saying about the leader. These things about the leader, let's see the way from the leader. This person that we are fighting about, Ruto, has power to control our leader. Hello, are you getting? Are you getting me? Am I audible? Afrocentric, are you hearing me? Okay. I'm talking about these guys we are fighting about, Ruto. Ruto has power. When we get to the point that we want to elect to have a leader, Ruto will get those leaders and will convince them, and will be fighting something that we cannot win. So let us cease away from this idea of leaders. I have seen. I was in the space of Kebi, Kibe. Kibe is keep on insisting of leaders. These people have their ideas. They are not fighting for what we are fighting about. We are fighting for the good governance, bad governance. So if we get a good person that will lead us, we need to fight for it. Need to fight for it. But for now, it's not the time for that kind of thing. Let's have idea of mobilizing people from the ground, up country, those who are in up country. Let's fight. We cannot fight the Ruto when we are just holding the spaces. We will not win. Please. Kuna watu wale wako huko chini, tung'ang'ane tu, kwa sababu hata mimi hapa kuna tu watu wawili watatu mimi naongelea nao, nawaambia kwamba tutafute kwamba tung'ang'ane Ruto atoke hapa. Ruto akishatoka hapa kiongozi tutapata, kwa sababu Ruto ndio tunapigana na yeye. Ruto akishaenda viongozi tuko nao wengi, hata kwa wale wenye wanapigana, wale wanaenda kwa ground, wale tunaona watu wengi au tunaweza sema fulani tunataka fulani, nataka kuchagua kiongozi sio shida. Shida ni tutoe hapa Ruto. Tukishatoa Ruto hapo, hizo zingine zitakuja. Then kuna mtu amesema kwamba ati tutengeneze chama. Vyama tumekuwa nao mingi sana, kutoka tupate independent tumekuwa na vyama, na hizi vyama zijamaliza zile shida tunapitia. Tumekuwa na ODM, juzi ODM sahii ishaenda, ODM iko pata serikali, Raila ashachumuliwa, Raila ako kwa biashara, Raila atusaidi, Raila ako kwa biashara, aende kwa hii chama, apewe pesa, arudi kwa Ruto, apewe, anajifanya ako na sisi, na nia yake ni atajirike. So let's fight. Ukiwa tuna mwenzako mwambie let's fight. Wakituua watatuua wachache, wataua watu sawa, lakini mwisho wa siku hii kitu tutaichukua. Tukishachukua hii uongozi, hapo ndio tutasema tushachukua, nani sasa tunaweka hapa. Lakini sasa ukikuja hapa kutuambia tutafute kiongozi, wewe ni mmoja wa Ruto. Unataka utafute kiongozi ndio waambie Ruto washapata kiongozi. Sasa tuende kwa kiongozi tuue, tukimpea pesa akatae tuue. Hiyo ndio system Ruto anatumia. Ukikataa pesa utauawa. Ukishauawa utaanza tena kusema kiongozi ameuawa, Ruto ataendelea kuongoza. So wazee, tung'ang'ane to fight, to hold space, to fight. Ruto must go. Ruto must go. Ukiamka asubuhi, Ruto must go. Mimi naamka asubuhi hata siku hizi na moral, hata kazi sifanyi kwa sababu ya Ruto namuona kwa kiti. I'm really suffering. Please, can we fight for Ruto must go? That's all. Thank you.